Spikeball Nation, we are here, 2021 National Championship here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Proving Ground. It's pretty fitting because today we have our semifinals and finals where these players will become legends right before our eyes in our Christmas day of our sport. We have the very first matchup coming up for us today is Boysterous versus Ritto boys, followed by Double Clutch versus Sentimental Touch, and culminating where we will crown our 2021 National Champion. We got the best in the business, Mike White and Bryce Clifford. We're going to kick it to them right now.
Hello and welcome. I am Mike White alongside Bryce Clifford, and we are so ecstatic to be bringing you the 2021 Spikeball National Champions.
This is the moment we've been waiting for, baby! I'm so excited, Mike, to be here at the desk again, just like we did 2 weeks ago in California. I mean, I couldn't be happier to be sitting by you in Philadelphia, of all places, where we had over 400 teams ball out, and here we are at the semifinals. I mean, we're down to 4 in the pro division.
Right. 400 teams, the biggest tournament we've ever had, right? All the way down to 4, right? Cut it down 100 times. It's ecstatic. There's already, I want to say, 300 people out here getting ready to watch, and I'm sure a ton of you at home. Quickly, I'm going to try to get into how we got here today. It all started with the Spikeball Tour Series. We had 10 events throughout the season. The way to get to Nationals, get top 2, or just show us your worth with all your points. That brought us to 16. And of course, yesterday, the 16 had pool play. They had bracket, their round of 16, their quarterfinals. All bring it to our top 4 here today.
And did you catch a lot of those games yesterday? They were electrifying. I'm not kidding. There were kick saves that were on stream. By the way, if you didn't catch the stream yesterday, you missed out. If you're watching this on replay, we love you. Catch all the content all day long today. We're playing for a while. Oh, let's take this down to the field with Vinny Bonta.
Nationals, give it up!
Oh, I love this.
In this match of the Titans in our first semis, we have Mentor versus Mentee. Cut serve, no cut serve. Cute versus hot, something we all want to see. In our very first team up, we have the young guns of the sport trying to coach or trying to teach their coach that they have way more than what they have in their repertoire. Let's give it up for the young guns of the sport, Ritto boys!
Here you have entering Coleman Epperson, the driver of the era, Ritto boys.
You know this next team. You've seen them on SportsCenter. You've seen it on Instagram, YouTube. You've seen it all. You have the defending national champion participant in the finals last year, so close to glory 2 years ago, and now coming back to finish what they started. Give it up for Boysterous.
To the stands today. He hits the ball so hard.
Yeah, and let's get a little bit into how these teams got here today. Of course, Ritto boys kind of took care of business yesterday in pool play. Absolutely ran through their pool, including a win over Boysterous. And they kind of took care of business again in bracket, making it here. But this is the biggest stage they've ever been on.
I believe they beat Boysterous in 2 yesterday.
Easy.
Like handily.
Yeah. And then Boysterous, of course, on the other side, actually had a kind of not ideal pool play. Went 1 and 2, dropping to Ritto boys, like we said. But they kind of actually had a nice opportunity where the #1 seed Sloppy Seconds, who they were slotted to play, was upset by the number 16 seed Naughty. So, of course, Boysterous and Naughty, it went really, really tight. We had a 34-32 game. That game won. But after that, Boysterous took it, and they're landing in their semifinals. And this actually buys 5th Nationals semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, he is no stranger to the main stage, and he thrives on it as well. You look at him; it's charisma, it's a tan, it is loud noise, as we're seeing on the field right now. But we are about to get into our first semi-final match of the day. And they're messing around a little bit for serve here. Looks like he went in the no-hit zone. They're not calling that for some reason. No, I'm just
And of course, you checking down on our scoreboard. Ritto boys the number 4 next to them. Boysterous the number 5. Those are the lefty on 2 power rankings. So not their seeds here today, which is now, it was 9 and 4. But of course, how the community views them. But obviously, after today, maybe that'll be much higher.
I don't know how it couldn't be. They're literally the top 4 teams in the nation are going to be standing in front of us today. And we're going to have our first serve kicking off. Riva steps wide right. They will opt to play this. Buys swings very high. No one gives chase. And like we said, boom ball right off the bat.
The boom ball is so smart. Preston Buys has been for years one of, if not the best hitter in the game. Just so much power. It can do so much with it.
That was a weird receive from Epperson, but he brings a little bit of power of his own. One lucky fan gets to toss the ball to one of our 3 observers out there. Ryan Fitzy observing. We've got Ben Dantowitz observing and Max Modell observing. Epperson swings very hard on his first one.
There you saw before Caleb Heck's fast cut serve. That's what he got. That's his tried and true, and they should get many breaks on it.
Second serve also fails. Energy is very high.
Very tense.
It is tense right off the bat. Everyone gets very quiet between all of these serves. Buys calling the score. Doesn't really step and tries to hit a big cut. I'm going to try to make a play on this ball. Nothing. Nothing. Buys will get another attempt. Steps out left. Jams right. Riva swinging with his right. Buys falling down. Not able to make the play. Point Ritto boys.
Smart hitting. Riva Denera, often touted as one of the best no-hit zone hitters. He has that length and he has the footwork to just get around. They'll make Boysterous work for it today.
Footwork, and right now he's giving us a little head movement, getting some deeks in there. Trying to fake out, get a bad step here. It goes reverse cut. The good recovery set from Caleb. I think they think that one's good. I believe our observers may meet for the first time. No, point for Boysterous.
Wow, almost make a nice play here. The diving just a little too much. We got a high serve there by Caleb Heck coming in. But look at that again. Very close, just hit the inside of the rim.
All right, double fault there from Boysterous. Caleb Heck's going to need to get some of those on to steal some breaks. Epperson, a huge cut. The main gun in his arsenal. Easy defense here from Riva, who swings with his left hand. Good touch by Caleb and an amazing recovery set by Buys. And Caleb Heck puts that away.
And the crowd comes alive. We've already had our first incredible rally, starting it off early. That was a huge break opportunity for Ritto boys, but Boysterous didn't mess around. That looked very solid. No dives even. Just clean putting it back.
Yeah, great defense from both teams. Caleb Heck doesn't show a ton of emotion on the field, and he is amped. Only 6 points into this game. Bryce steps out left, drops left.
Bryce very ambidextrous. He calls this the bad stance. Both hands are deadly.
Swings a little reverse. Same thing Riva did to him. Maybe he's showing off a little bit. Gets a touch, doesn't bounce up, but he's in the right spot.
See, Buys does what a lot of old-time West Coast players do, which is kind of fade back and throw your body into it and just try to get it popping right up.
Riva hits a deadly low reverse cut.
Oh,
that was insane.
That looked unreturnable.
It was. When Buys doesn't get his hand on the ball, something bad happened.
Oh, look at that. That's almost at his knee. Oh, my goodness.
Steps out wide right, gets a couple of fakes in there, and then hits a cut. Back-to-back aces for the Ritto boys.
He can put it both directions. This is how they ate him up yesterday. The serve receive from Boysterous was lower than you'd expect, and that, of course, comes when Riva is on. He is on.
When I talked to Riva yesterday, he said he didn't even play to his best ability when they beat Boysterous. And when I talked to Boysterous, they said, we're just playing for the championship. Pool play doesn't matter. So these guys both think they have exactly what it takes to win. And Riva's touting it early.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Boysterous really did. 1 and 2 in pool play, and then they're here. You know.
Heck hits a reverse cut of his own. That one looks good, and he is pumped up on the field.
I have never seen that from Caleb Heck. Something new in his arsenal.
Buys is stoked.
I think he just tastes blood a little bit. To come so close in a finals in 2019, these guys are hungry for a championship. It is exuding from them now. A little jam serve. Riva swinging with his right hand, up and over, just to the left side of Caleb Heck. Point Ritto boys. We're still close.
We're just going. Ritto boys just have that what we call the mini break, where they're up, but not necessarily up. If we get into 21, we get extras.
Are you serious? Epperson only hits amazing cut serves, or so we thought.
Epperson so far this series has unperformed a little bit in later stages, but here with that drop hitting, that's one of the strongest serves in his arsenal.
And a great job to get the touch. Both these teams reading the other guys well. I don't know if that's because the serves aren't, or the sets aren't quite there, but they're in the right position on defense all the time. They just need these bounces.
And something you may see is that they're going to get a lot of those close touches. That's what some of these placement hitters want. They're like, I will let you touch the ball, but it's not going to be good.
Another jam serve from Bies. Riva swings with his right hand yet again. They are going to the observers. Preston Bies believes that Riva has either dragged his foot through the no-hit zone. We'll see what the call is.
Of course, the no-hit zone, that is the 1.5-foot barrier around the net. You cannot step in there during, before, during, or after your hitting motion. The call actually goes the way of Boysterous here, so they get that mini break back, 8-8. Oh, excuse me, not the mini break back, but get the hold.
That one bounces up a little bit too high. Needs to stay below those shoulders. Preston Bies fakes, drops, and just a little too short there, Preston.
Bies' drop is heavily disguised, almost the same swing as his cut. He just opens his hand up a little bit. Not be surprised if they get a couple breaks with that later.
Not at all. Not at all. These guys will trade breaks, I think, off their serves. As we saw Riva just try to go with his left hand. This time he steps out right and just swings hard with a reverse that they believe clipped the rim. No argument.
Back to Caleb Heck. I'm so excited to see what's in his arsenal after knowing he has a reverse.
Ooh, I thought they may play that.
Of course, you can't opt to play a pocket high serve or rim if you choose to have it until the second player on your team touches it to make the call.
And that is a very wide left hit.
Riva immediately calls side pocket, which is not allowed on serves. Of course, Bies had the correct angle and thinks it's good. We'll see what they think, especially Max Modell, who is on that side and has a pretty good perspective on it.
Yeah, they're deliberating now. It looked good, and they're calling a redo.
Redo means the teams weren't sure and the observers weren't sure either.
Most fair thing to do, play it up, give him another opportunity to hit the same type of serve. Decided to change it up and go for a different serve. It was his second serve still.
It's nice to see that he has the left in that arsenal as well.
Yeah, Caleb Heck, he's debuting some, not just some new serves and new styles, but some energy, some fire that we don't see all the time. Epperson swings very hard.
I will say, Heck, when I asked him if he expected to be here, the answer was no. They have not played. They've played 2 tournaments this season. They've done pretty well at both, decently, but it hasn't been as active a season as 2019 was. But truthfully, players can play, and they just came and brought their all at Nationals, which many teams do, including Preston Bies with that cut serve straight past Coleman Epperson.
Yeah, that was just perfect. It's frozen. He didn't even try to reach out with his right hand because it cut way more than he thought it was going to. Bies probably going to try to do that same exact serve again. Yeah, I think he did. It just bumped way high. Bouncing at the service line. Steps out left, goes left. They will play this. Ritto boys set off the net, which was very smart. He allowed him to put this up and over with distance.
Yeah, I think he saw Bies at the net. Heck, mid-distance but flat-footed, and knowing that if you can pop it over him, he's unlikely going to chase it down.
Ryder Riva, who we've seen get a couple of aces in a row early, goes wide right and then goes cut left. They're calling high. My guess is we're going to see a lot of the observers today.
Of course, the service height rule is it cannot go over your shoulder based on an athletic stance. Of course, that actually is a very helpful rule as it limits our need to call back pockets. That's what was introduced earlier in this year, especially thank you to the Data Collection Committee, David Louis, the DCC. However, you know, as back pockets were hard to call, so is shoulder height. So it's some would say a necessary evil in the sport right now, and teams will often use the observers because it's hard to tell. That one was called high.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the call at all. I mean, I also, oh, that one they are amped about. That one also a little loud. We'll see observers again, but what I was going to say is that I think we're going to see observers a lot, not just because these guys are complaining or they want to try to steal every point, but there's kind of a lot on the line. This is a national championship.
Right. I don't know exactly the cash prize, but I believe it might be $8,000. It might be $8,000. And I think using the observers is okay because in high-level round net, the margin between good and bad is so minimal. It could be a millimeter. Here we had a reverse cut, another one from Heck, but that one was high.
Preston by starts joking around. He started moving, and he goes, yeah, it was a little bit high. Heck swings really hard for a second one. Looked like he tried to reverse it again.
There's Caleb Heck. You want to say a overnight success, but really he's been grinding. He's been playing since he was 14 years old, now 21.
Yeah, I used to see him at some of those West Coast tournaments with his brother, and everyone knew he was going to be something special. He took it pretty serious, and he just didn't look like he was 14.
Oh, no.
I mean, he was very tall and very strong. That one is up and over him. Epperson did have one very good drop shot, but is going to have to really rely on that huge cut that he has. We'll see what Preston opts to do here. We know he's got a handful of different serves.
That's the different stance for him.
Yeah, starts closed off. Having fun out there. Steps out left, drops right.
He loves that stance, so he can do exactly that. Open up. It allows him to do a cut, to do a push, or a nice crafty drop like that.
Swings very hard. Jams Riva, who swings with his right hand into the body of Buys, but Caleb Heck giving chase.
That typical defense is Buys is trying to either get a body up or force Riva to hit it to Heck, but with the speed and low hitting of Riva, Buys does not get anything off it.
Yeah, I think we've got maybe 4 of the best hitters in the game on the field right now, and that was an unbelievable cut serve. That thing jumped an extra 5 feet to Buys' right.
Buys looked like he was ready for it, and it just shot off.
Oh, they will play this. Caleb Heck swings up and over the head of Epperson.
See him go all the way around the no-hit zone, trying to just control his momentum because you got to make sure that you fully stop outside the no-hit zone.
I thought he just wanted to see the whole field.
Yeah.
All right, Caleb Heck looking to add a point here to try to separate themselves from Ritto boys.
It's been an absolute grind back and forth.
Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted to see out of the finals. Or semifinals, pardon me, out of the
Can you
pro
believe this
division.
isn't the finals with the crowd we have here right now?
This is unbelievable. There are more people in the crowd today than there were playing at nationals in 2016.
Yeah.
Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. Back to Epperson, who loves his big cut. Goes for the open, which he called earlier his most consistent.
Ooh, Reeve almost got his hand on that.
There's that big pull shot coming out, a lot harder to do. It was nice footwork by Buys to able to reach fully around that.
Yeah, I want to see some amplitude. I want to see someone knock something out of the park here. I want some fireworks. Buys will swing. Left hand of Epperson receives it. Puts it with a banger right. Boom ball into the crowd.
That defense clearly not working. Again, we saw that, right? They ran the one close, the one far, but not far enough. So the difference is Heck going to start playing way back? But truthfully, with how hard they're hitting the ball, you don't know what to do.
That is a huge cut serve. Caleb Heck calls that one high. This is one, however, I believe may go the way of Ritto boys.
It's very challenging as a receiver yourself to know where you actually touched the ball, right? He believed he touched the ball high up above his shoulder, which he did not, according to the observers. Give it a clean serve. That gives Ritto boys not just the mini break, but the break that needs them to just get to 21. If they hold, they win this game 1.
Riva leaning, almost leaning past that 7-foot service line. Steps out wide right, swings very hard. They call it no good, but another disagreement.
We'll go to observers again. Buys said hit him out in the face, probably high. Riva said he was leaning back. I believe we're going to get a clean call here and give a 2-break lead for Ritto boys. If anything, I think we'll see a redo. See that huddle in the back, Ben Dantowitz around Max Modell and Ryan Fitzgerald long-time, actually all East Coast players coming in, which is a little different. We only have one East Coast player on the field here.
I think that should be delegated as the #1 observer stance and how they should all talk to each other all the time.
A high call. Interesting.
I want to be in that huddle, actually.
Yeah, I want to know what they were talking about.
It did look very close.
But I trust them more than myself.
For sure.
They got the best perspective.
These guys hit the ball so hard I can hardly tell where it's going half the time. So by the time I blinked, it was up in the air off of his hand. Caleb Heck drops this one. Pockets a little bit, but Epperson swings with his right hand, avoids the no-hit zone. Very athletic from him.
Yeah, finally we see some strong hitting have to come out from Epperson. He hasn't done much but boom ball, which has worked. That one looks good.
Hard to argue for high when it hits you in the chest.
Yep.
And that's what we needed from Epperson if the Ritto boys wanted to close out game 1. And then he feels himself and goes with the left hand.
Ritto boys, as a less experienced team, of course, right? The biggest stage they've ever been on. Getting a game 1 lead would be huge.
The Ritto boys have done everything they could to separate themselves right here. The last thing they need is to let Preston Byes get back into this game with a couple of nice serves. He's going to try his best, however. Swings hard, big cut, received well from Epperson. Body defense by Preston Byes, but not able to get the soft touch. He doesn't want that ball in the court anymore, gets rid of it. And we have our first game point in our semifinal.
Immaculate receive there by Epperson. Just totally shut down Byes.
Riva hits a reverse cut. They actually returned this, but defense by Riva, who swings with his right, puts it away for game 1 in the books. Ritto boys, take it down.
Absolute dominant win at the end there by Ritto boys. They grinded through, they outlasted, and then finally put it away, and it came with a disgusting serve and just clean hitting and defense, which is what you need to be a national champion.
Definitely, and Caleb Heck did everything he could to get that back to the net. I mean, both of them did. The recovery set was amazing. The receive was from his knee on with his left hand. They did what they could to try to get back there, but the important thing was the set had to go right back at Caleb Heck, and he put it right into Riva, who was able to put that thing away. Oh, my gosh. Amazing game 1.
Incredible. I think the real difference we saw at the end was just they were coming alive. I think, and separately, the serve receive from Ritto boys, they are shutting Boysterous down.
Definitely. I mean, the dynamic was no one really got a 2-point lead. Like a 2-point lead maybe happened for the first time at 17-19.
Right.
I mean, it really was true.
Right, we had a couple to start, right? We had the drop. We had a couple from Riva. We had one from Caleb Heck, but really we were just back and forth, and then Ritto boys came alive right at the end there, which I said that a game 1 win would be huge. A game 1 win with a strong finish like that, their third 21-17 victory of the weekend over Boysterous.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point, and I don't want to say that anyone here is superstitious, but you all play sports, you all know it's 21-17. If it happens again, this may go down as a meme in Roundnet history.
You don't want to play Ritto boys, it'll be 21-17.
Exactly. See, there you go. It's already started.
But something we haven't even touched on yet is this fact: Preston Byes, Riva Rivadeneira, roommates.
Right. Yeah, they might be on the same flight home.
Yeah, I talked to him, said it's a friendly rivalry until calls start getting made, but I think the calls have been pretty good so far. But the crazy thing is Rivadeneira is often touted as the prodigy of Preston Byes. They together formed this YouTube channel, How to Roundnet, but at the time, Rivadeneira was just coming up, but through doing that, Rivadeneira started getting better. Preston Byes taught him everything he knew, but I was talking to Byes earlier, and Rivadeneira was learning everything Byes knew from his 7 years in Roundnet, but then added on top. And you see, that is that extra later, the reverse cuts, very quickly adapting to the no-hit zone because he hasn't had 6 years of playing without the no-hit zone. That has really set him apart.
Definitely. The no-hit zone is an amazing dynamic that I think got added this year, and it very much so suits Riva's play style. I mean, he's got so many angles with his long arms that he can hit at the net. Giving an extra 1.5 feet off the net meant nothing to him whatsoever.
No, not a problem. If anything, it made it easier because he can play his strong D with those big limbs.
Yeah, he's like, I've been doing this already. he's probably been standing at that distance anyways. It's like,
Looks like we're getting back into game 2 here. We're going to have Caleb Heck starting with the serve.
Caleb Heck lost his energy early. I mean, he got amped on some big hits. Preston Buys is one of the louder players on the field, and it's infectious in a good way and a bad way. When you're playing against it, it could definitely get in your head. When you're playing with it, it can amp you up. This first point gets a hand from Preston Buys, but Caleb Heck not able to do anything, bounced a little too far.
Yeah, there we had Boysterous both on the net. I wonder if this is a new defensive strategy as opposed to one near, one far. They have to get something working. I don't think they had any conversions back to the net.
Yeah, maybe one early, and that's about it. And here goes Riva. When he hits these serves, they don't go above your hip. It doesn't make sense to me.
I just held myself because I had no words for that. It looked like it didn't even hit the net, but it just went straight past Preston Buys. That was disgusting.
Yeah, he's having some fun. He's joking with Buys, so very friendly for between the roommates out there.
What you always hear when they say we lost to Ritto boys, they'll say, "Yeah, we're doing well." Then Ryder started playing.
Yeah, exactly. And then there it is right there, a left-handed cut.
Goodness.
What can you do?
You can't.
You can't
You
do.
can't do. And he tosses so fast that you can't even react. Both sides. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
Nothing. That's going to be the line. It's like Ryder serving. What am I supposed
What
to
can
do?
you do?
What can I do?
What can you do?
All right, Riva still feeling awesome, going up for his second serve in his red cleats, white hat. Swings very hard, pocket's way too high, and Boysterous finally going to get the ball.
But a nice 3-point run for Ritto boys gave them the lead that they waited until the very end of game 1 to get.
Buys getting his first chance to serve this game. Goes lefty drop, bounces up very high, easy receive from Riva. And I believe that net was kicked by Preston Buys. Yeah, exactly.
Preston Buys was pointing at Riva saying, "You hit that." And they were panicking. No, he did not. No, he did not. And then Buys says, "Yep, I'm just messing with you."
That's awesome. It's so cool to see that the camaraderie in this community. I mean, they're down 4-1 and down a game in the semifinal, and he's still joking with his buddy over there. So Caleb Heck has to drop this. Epperson able to put it up from his bottom, and then boom balls this up into our sponsor tent over there.
Yep, a ground rule double over Stewart's spiked Seltzer. Iconic. That's an iconic spike. This boom ball has just been unbelievable today.
They're calling this one high. This one, this may.
I agree with that.
This may be high. Yeah, this one.
I agree with that. Right over his fingertips. And yep, no huddle needed. Oh, sorry, they called it good.
They called it good
Excuse
immediately.
Me. Excuse me. Okay.
Epperson swings really hard again. This is actually received pretty well. The recovery set, not amazing, and Heck has to wrap his body around that, not able to get it back on the net. Another point for Ritto boys, who's rolling right now.
I don't know what they brought, but they're just bringing it all. They're just challenging. The serve receive from Boysterous is just come down in this early part of the game.
It's just fireballs out of the hands of Ritto boys.
Yeah.
I mean, all of their serves have been amazing. And then he goes for a drop. And Buys gets there, but throws it past the net. Another point for Ritto boys at the service line.
They're just absolutely cooking up right now. He's shown it all. They got the hard cut, which is terrifying, and then put a drop into it, especially when it stays on that close side of the net. He had no option but to just throw it away.
They are not going to play this.
Although I wouldn't be, I
exactly.
wouldn't.
I know what you're going to say.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They're getting lit up 8-1.
Well, how do you get the ball out of their hands? They hit another great drop. He'll swing on two. Pretty smart play, but it almost backfired there as Ryder almost got a hand on it.
Yep, a little bit of a history lesson when Preston Buys won Nationals in 2016. His partner actually hit notably many twos, and that just means we're feeling good. We're going to get back into it. We're establishing some pace. So I think that's what he's trying to do here.
Caleb Heck swings very hard. The little jam serve. Epperson going to pull this with his right hand. Nobody in the realm. That is a great point for Ritto, who gets the ball right back into their hands.
That's textbook no-hit zone hitting. These players are always diving, and they put their body on the line every point because that's what you have to do to get those nice pull shots.
Riva definitely throwing his whole body into his serves again. wants to catch up to his teammate in the amount of aces he has this game.
Back the way of Buys. I just love how they're flipping the script on them. Buys with his crazy cuts and his power, as well as Caleb Heck and Riva and Epperson just saying we can do it better.
Bias goes with his left hand. I don't want to see him ditch what he's so good at. I mean, we know he's ambidextrous and he can hit those serves, but they just need to get a couple of things on here, try to make some plays.
I'm surprised he's going with it, especially without any fakes, because I mean, it's clearly not better than his righty cut.
That was a good leave there by Caleb Heck.
Good eye.
Epperson hits a big cut. That one also bounces up a little bit too high.
That margin for error is so slight. Just a little bit far, a little bit less cut. Just pocket straight up and high.
Oh, that was an inch away from being amazing on that near side of the rim.
Heck looks low energy here. It's also pretty hot out there.
Hot.
There's a lot of sweat.
He hits a good drop here. Riva, good pass back across the net. I don't know how that went to the left side of Caleb Heck, but that was a very good shot by Epperson.
Right, and the real note that I'll note there is it's not that Boysterous is struggling on defense. Ritto Boys' setting is immaculate. Every touch is over the net.
He just tried to hit a lefty reverse. Everyone saw the spin off the ball when it landed. You heard a long groan from everybody. He steps out right, tries to hit a reverse that way.
Akin to some wonky sauce getting that lefty reverse going.
That was incredible. Preston finally going to the fakes, then swings very hard.
If I'm him, down 6, you want to get breaks, but you don't want to keep double faulting. Like he is. He's giving away now 2 points just for free.
Yeah, and he's oh my gosh, that is an incredible serve. Epperson, the one serve we know he can hit incredibly well, maybe better than the 99.9% of round net players.
It's just finally coming together for Ritto Boys. I'm just so excited to see it because they had some ups and downs earlier in this season, but they're just putting it all together. A 13-5 lead, excuse me. Ridiculous.
I mean, if they're able to hold, and this is how they serve in the finals, regardless of if they're playing double clutch or assistive touch, I don't see how you can, unless you ace them right back, I don't see how you can catch up.
6-13. Yeah.
Observer Ryan Fitz tosses the ball back to Caleb Heck, who swings hard but pockets up way too high. He's feeling his shoulder a little bit there. Preston Buys, before one of his last serves, said it almost looked as if he was given the body language of, I'm just off. I'm just not hitting the net.
Gonna play that one.
High give and chase is Epperson, who's able to throw this one back. Riva set hits him in stride, but he's not able to get it back on the net. Great attempt. But good job by Boysterous, holding a little bit there.
Really says that hit went almost all the way into our crowd. That's, I'd say, some great set design here that no one's hit it over, but incredible work. Let's get another look at that. Smart didn't carry. Actually, a nice setup by Riva, but coming towards the net and hitting is very challenging. A really hard thing to do.
Yeah, after you just did a wind sprint of 50 feet away, 50 feet back.
Yeah, I think that's at least 45 feet there, yeah.
They called that one high. Buys will get to serve again. Side-by-side stance. Bouncing the ball like he's at his free throw line here. Hits a cut that goes way too high, and all of a sudden, we are only 6 points away from having our first competitor entering the finals at this national championship.
Yeah, and I don't know, with the way Boysterous is playing now, I don't know if they can do it, but Buys actually earlier in this year, of course, not a tour series, but on the ESPN Invitational, he did get 5 breaks in a row to bring it back when he was down 14-10, so he can make it work.
That was a great drop shot by Epperson. Riva plays good defense here. He's going to swing with his right hand, and it's a great push shot. Amazing defense from Ritto Boys. They just can't be stopped right now.
They can't, right? So it took a little lull. They were up 8-1, and now got another one and just completely are running away with this game. They can do it all.
And they are. Epperson, closed off stance here. Goes out wide. Usually hits a cut with that. And a souvenir for me this time around. All right, Caleb Heck ducking down to receive this. and does on the cut serve with a very high pass and a smart push shot. Breaks the ankles of Coleman Epperson. Great shot from Caleb.
Very clean. We've seen pretty much power shots, so working that in was smart and just kind of, like you said, broke his ankles. He fell back and didn't know what to do. Heck, I will note, does have shoulder injury problems. He says it bothers him, but he just pushes through. But it might be getting to him even worse. This is like the longest he's been in a tournament. He hasn't been played in a while on this day 2.
Yeah, this is, I mean, to have the overnight break come out, try to get warm all over again and be sore from the day before. I mean, these guys have played a lot of games, this weekend here at the Proving Grounds in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ritto boys and Riva going to serve.
I looked at the score, 17-8, and almost thought it was a typo, that it should have been 17-18. That is how big this lead is right now.
Especially this deep into a tournament. It is just a testament to how much work Ritto boys has put in this season on their serves. But as you saw there, they a couple of points ago, defense is not something they don't do. They just don't have to all the time. Good drop shot. Riva swings with his right hand, puts it up and over. Smart shot. You saw him change the angle of his arm there.
Yeah, they are doing absolutely nothing to challenge Ritto boys. They are having no problem with any serve, any defensive scheme. Just, it's all working.
Epperson swings hard, hits a cut. Caleb Heck using his right hand, booms this towards the tent. Riva gets it right in front of us here, who's back at the net and goes for a drop shot to get it on. Not able to do it. Loses the hat. All smiles, but
all smiles coming at the camera. Look at this dangerous and nice swing just to avoid it. The nice setup. So Ritto boys, when they have to, they're making these plays work, not just enough, but the fact that they can chase these down is actually very notable for if they go on to play double clutch, who loves to hit these long shots.
Oh, yeah. Usually when you play against double clutch, you see everyone run to the outsides of the the arena here. Riva, normally the guy behind the camera, almost ends up face first in front of one. Caleb Heck steps left, swings right. And they need to make something happen. He may throw out his shoulder here with how hard he tries to hit this ball. And
wow.
There it was. Misses the net completely.
Now, 19-10. Just 2 more points. Ritto boys. Could Riva Dinera make it happen?
I mean, of course. the short answer is yes. Will he? We will see right here as he hits a cut serve. That is incredible. No argument from Buys. He calls a timeout at 20-10. Oh, this is just sportsmanship. This is awesome to see. 20-10. Wow.
I think he's just saying, wow, you really got me.
Yeah, it's more
and
of a.
I think he's crying.
I think he is too.
And guys, I have to tell you, I'm saying this now.
Oh, I'm not. Can't look at him. I'm gonna cry.
Can't
look at him. I'm gonna cry.
This is Boysterous's last tournament. This is Boysterous' last tournament, and Buys may be retiring after this season. So this is really emotional for him. After 7 years of playing, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, a national championship. This may be his last match besides the third-place game, and to lose to his roommate and some may say best friend, Rivalry Donera.
I think that's why he's so emotional. He knows. Last tournament, Riva is – you know, sensei to student relationship there, and then they've become such great friends. Riva, what a way to end it with a huge cut serve. Great job by Ritto boys over Boysterous to go to our final. What a way to end it.
And what an emotional moment here for these players. Preston Buys wiping away tears after an incredible career and an incredible performance by Rivalry Donera and the Ritto boys to move on to the finals. I'm almost tearing up myself.
I'm not crying. You're crying. This is unbelievable. I mean, it got so quiet. You'd think everyone would have been screaming, but I think everyone was still wiping their tears in the crowd. I mean, that was awesome. Timeout from Preston Buys.
Just the amount of respect you felt between competitors, friends, and just Roundnet community members. They do so much for the sport with how to roundnet. On top of being top players, Preston Byes spent the last couple months traveling through the U.S. and Canada teaching clinics and talking to players. That's what he loves. And, you know, considering he may be retiring, Boysterous' last tournament, I think it's just all coming rushing through.
Yeah,
all he's done.
It sucks that Ryder Riva was standing so close to us. I was like, I can't look at you right now, man. You're making me tear up again.
First, we will be throwing over to Vinny Bonta in a sec to talk to Riva Dinera, but that's just incredible.
You love to see it. I mean, it really is just proof that this community is so incredible. I mean, you and I have been around for, we're coming up on a decade of Spikeball Roundnet tournaments. 2012 is when I think I played in my first tournament. It was shortly thereafter when Preston Byes got onto the scene, and to see him do it for so long at such a competitive level it's incredible to see it all kind of hit the top of the mountain here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
But let's, of course, talk about Ritto boys. An unbelievable performance.
Yeah, what a way to end it. Too.
Right?
It made so much sense.
21-10 win in the semifinals. They are looking poised. Of course, they won't be playing for 2 more hours in the finals there because, of course, you have the other semis and then the third-place game. But if they can bring that energy, I don't know if they can be stopped.
Yeah, the 2 teams that are facing off in our next semifinal are very defensive teams. One more freeform, one more structured. But one of those 2 teams still has to get there in order to play defense. And how do you play defense on cut serves that break 5 feet to your right? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But speaking of those cut serves, we actually have our field correspondent, Vinny Bonta, getting ready to meet up with the Ritto boys. Let's see what he has to say to our first finals competitors.
And I'm here with the semifinal winners, Ritto boys, who in dominant fashion just took out some legends in the game, Boysterous. I'm going to go here to Ryder real quick. You're talking about how emotional that series was. Can you give us a reason why it was so emotional?
I mean, Preston's the one that taught me the game. He's been my best friend the last 2 years, and I wish that was the finals, but it was a full circle moment. I don't know. It was special. It was cool. Yeah.
That is awesome. And for us, like, watching the performance you put on that was awesome and special for us because that was one of the most dominant performances I've seen in this sport. Coleman, you have a finals against 2 very top teams, the top 2 in the power rankings. What are we expecting going into this championship from you guys?
I'm excited to be tough. I think we just got to keep playing better and better. I feel like we're peaking at the right time right now, and I don't know. We just got to mix ours, play our game, and hold, you know?
Well, if I had money, I would not want anything to do with going against you guys. We're going to go to the best in the business, Mike and Bryce, to really preview this next matchup for us.
And we are back. Of course, if you're just joining us, I'll say that we are here, 2021 Nationals. Mike White, Bryce Clifford, so happy to be bringing this day to you. This historic day, 400 teams, down to 4, now down to 3. Of course, we have our next semifinals coming up. That is between the Double Clutch, the boys from Texas, and Assistive Touch, say California, Colorado boys.
Yeah, this is a rematch of something we saw in California only 2 weeks ago. That was an incredible series. But, oh, my gosh, we've got some electricity on the field right now. That is incredible. But, yeah, I can't wait to see this. I mean, as we started to mention before we threw to Vinny, these teams are very defensive. Frederick Hinkle and Rahul can hit some incredible serves as well. And when I was talking to Frederick yesterday, he says they have a scheme. He did play one tournament with Buddy Ham, and he said, yeah, we didn't really click on defense because Buddy's just kind of everywhere, and I'm kind of structured. So a lot of times we're in the same spot. Right. So I'm going to see exactly what happens here with Rahul and Frederick. Sorry, Murthy and Hinkle. I want to make sure everyone knows exactly who's who. Shifting appropriately when we have Buddy and Clark or Hammond and Marshall from Assistive Touch who kind of just fill gaps and play off of instinct.
Yeah, and I'll touch upon that scheme because you will see it and we will point it out. Often they run with Murthy at the net. He'll lean back and try to make his body as big as he can. But given he is short, I believe 5'4", he gets so low and he tries to pop it up with anything he can. Hinkle rotates across from him and makes ready to chase any ball that he pops up. I will say the thing that has held double clutch back is their ability to put those away. And that is what we have seen them fall in the finals. They have played 4 tournaments in the SRA Tour Series. First one, Seattle. They won dominantly. The closest loss, 21-16. Unbelievable. But since then, they've played 3 tournaments, gotten second every single time. One of those times, to assistive touch just 2 weeks ago in California.
Yeah, it was the confidence booster that Assistive Touch said they needed. I do communicate with Buddy Hammond on a regular basis, and he was pretty surprised, but felt that they were playing out of their minds and knows that they're going to have to do it again if they want to beat double clutch, because they are very consistent. What you will see is a lot of amazing sets from Frederick Hinkle. That is something he is known for. Hold on, got to make a play on a ball. Never mind. But Frederick Hinkle, his sets are always smart, and when he's off of the net, he's like, he knows exactly where he could close his eyes, swing, and put the ball within 3 feet of the net.
First, we will talk about assistive touch when we get back in a sec. However, first we're going to throw to Vinny Bonta again, who is chatting with Preston Byes.
Oh, God, I'm going to cry again, Arn.
And we are here with Preston Byes. Never easy to interview after a tough loss. Preston, your protege, the guy you taught the game, just took you out. What are your thoughts with Ryder right now, who is having about as impressive of a day as I can remember?
I mean, honestly, I've said it since I saw the kid start playing. I say kid, now he's a man. But I mean, I said he could be the best player in the world, and like I meant it. And year and a half, 2 years later, we're here. I mean, he's the best server in the world. He's consistent. He's just better, you know. And for me, it's like a win-win today. Like, I came out here, I was like, if there's one guy I want to lose to or beat, it's you. And like losing to him, as weird as it is, like watch my kid, like, you know, live out his dream. I'm like, let's go. But no, I mean, he played out of his mind. Coleman played out of his mind. I mean, they played a better game than us. It just was what it was, you know. So, yeah.
And one thing for me, the weekend, if you're not here, what are you doing? Get here for Nationals next year. Seeing the community and especially the younger generation look up to you, what does that look like for you to, like, this weekend, seeing this younger generation look at you like a celebrity?
I mean, for me, it's fame's cool and all. For me, it's more like the amount of people who, from HTR, were like, yo, you've helped me. Or you've, you know, like, you're the reason why I started playing. Or, like, I've had parents go to me and be like, yo, I'm a big fan of you. And I'm like, I have parents who are fans, you know. But no, I mean, as long as, like, I always ask them, I'm like, did you learn something?
Yeah.
Because for me, like, you know, a lot of people think I'm like, it's all about me. But I'm like, no, like, I want to do it to give. And it's being received super well. So, I mean, it's just from 7 years ago when I started playing, to signing things and taking pictures. And, like, people are genuinely excited to, like, see the pros. Like, it's out of this world cool, you know, and that's why I'm here. Like, playing is cool. You know, like, losing today, I wanted to win because I'm a competitor. But, like, from a round net perspective, you know, I've had my fun. You know, like, I still think I'm, you know, top 5 player in the world, which is cool. But, like, whatever, you know. You know, I'm here to hang out, and so that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's absurd, but yeah.
Well, you might be top 5 in the world, which I think is pretty unanimous. You're one of my favorites, if not my favorite to watch, and just thank you for what you've done for the sport. If you haven't, check out HCR Plus if you want to get better at this game. If you want to be on just how to round it. If you want to be on, or HCR Plus. If you want to be on this screen one day, on this field, having us watch you, got to check that out. Preston, thanks for being a legend. We're going to get back to Bryce and Mike.
We're back to us, and we want to talk to you all about the second semifinal. Assistive touch and double clutch are warming up. But first, we're going to go on a little break, just 3 minutes. We'll be back soon. Stay with us.